What if I told you that the reason most people never truly change their lives isn't because they lack talent, intelligence, or even motivation? It's because they lack systems. Think about it. You've probably had moments where you were fired up with motivation, you watched an inspiring video, read a life-changing book, or set ambitious goals on New Year's Day. And for a few days, maybe even weeks, you felt unstoppable. But slowly, life crept back in. Old habits returned. Distractions pulled you away. The fire burned out. Why? Because motivation is temporary, systems are permanent. Elon Musk doesn't rely on feeling motivated to run Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company. He doesn't wake up each morning thinking, I hope I feel like working today. He wakes up knowing that his systems will move him forward no matter how he feels. Imagine waking up in the morning and knowing, without any mental debate, exactly what to do first, second, and third. No overthinking, no scrambling, just clear, automatic progress. That's the power of a system. It takes the decision-making burden off your mind and locks you into a path that leads directly to your goals. It's like putting your life on train tracks. You still have to keep the train moving, but you're not wandering aimlessly through the desert, hoping to find the right direction. The truth is, without a system, you will be at the mercy of your moods. You'll work hard when you feel like it and stall when you don't. And here's the thing, even the most successful people don't feel like working all the time. Elon Musk has said openly that there are days he doesn't want to show up, days when the pressure is crushing, days when he's completely exhausted. But the difference between him and the average person is that his work doesn't depend on how he feels in the moment. The system is already in place, so action is inevitable. So, how do you start building a system for your own life? The first step is understanding that systems are about consistency, not intensity. Too many people think they need to go all in from day one, working 16 hours a day, running on coffee and adrenaline. That's a recipe for burnout. Musk's work ethic is legendary, but his success isn't because he pushes himself to the brink every single day. It's because he has created a sustainable framework where progress compounds over time. He knows exactly what deserves his focus and what doesn't. This is where most people fail. They wake up and immediately react to whatever is loudest: emails, social media, random requests from other people. By noon, half the day is gone, and they still haven't worked on what truly matters. Musk flips this completely. He builds his day around what's most important, not what's most urgent. And here's the simple but powerful shift. When you design your system around your priorities, everything else either fits in around them or gets eliminated entirely. One practical way to do this is by creating non-negotiable time blocks for your most important work. Pick a time each day. Maybe it's 8 to 10 a.m., maybe it's 6 to 8 p.m., and make it sacred. No phone, no interruptions, no busy work. That block belongs to your highest impact task, the thing that moves your life forward. Protect it like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. Over time, this becomes automatic. You don't have to decide to work. You just work because it's part of the system. Another key element is eliminating decision fatigue. Musk doesn't waste mental energy deciding what to work on in the moment. He plans his schedule and priorities ahead of time, so when the moment comes, he can just execute. You can do the same by planning your week on Sunday night. Look at your goals, identify the big 3 tasks for each day, and block them in. Now, instead of waking up wondering what to do, you wake up ready to follow a plan you've already committed to. And here's where the magic happens. Once you stick to a system for long enough, your results stop depending on big bursts of effort. Small, consistent actions compound in ways you can't imagine. 1 hour a day of focused, high-impact work doesn't feel like much in the moment, but over a year, that's 365 hours, nearly a month of full-time effort poured into something that actually matters. Elon Musk didn't build his empire by having 1 or 2 heroic bursts of productivity. He built it by showing up every day and letting his systems carry him through the days when motivation wasn't enough. If you want to change your life, start there. Build a structure that forces progress. Decide in advance what matters most, block time for it, and follow through no matter how you feel. Motivation will come and go, but with the right system, your progress never stops. Have you ever looked at Elon Musk's life and thought, how does one person manage to run Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company without going insane? The truth is, it's not because he has more hours in the day we all get the same 24. It's because he has an unshakable system for priorities. Most people spend their lives reacting to whatever demands their attention in the moment. Emails, meetings, phone calls, random problems that pop up. Musk does the opposite. He decides what matters most first, and everything else has to fight for scraps of his time. This single shift can change the entire trajectory of your life. Here's the reality. If you don't decide your priorities, someone else will decide them for you. Your boss, your coworkers, your friends, social media, they will happily fill your day with noise. You'll end the day exhausted, but not one step closer to your dreams. Musk avoids this trap by starting with absolute clarity about what deserves his focus. He doesn't just have a to-do list, he has a hierarchy. At the top are the tasks that directly move him toward his long-term vision. Everything else is negotiable, delayed, or deleted entirely. One of the most powerful tools he uses is time blocking. Instead of writing a vague list of tasks, he assigns every minute of his day to a specific purpose. And he's extreme about it, sometimes breaking his schedule into 5-minute intervals. That might sound insane, but think about what it accomplishes. There is no empty space for distractions to sneak in. Every block is intentional. If he's working on rocket design at 9:35 a.m., nothing else is allowed to exist in that time slot. If he's in a product meeting for Tesla, that's the only thing on his mind. No multitasking, no just checking emails. Now, you might not want to live in 5-minute chunks, but you can steal the principle. Even setting aside 2 or 3 deep work blocks a day, uninterrupted time, where you focus on your most important task, will transform your productivity. And here's the key. You must treat these blocks as sacred. You wouldn't miss a meeting with your CEO or skip a flight you paid for, right? Treat your deep work the same way. It's not optional. It's the core of your success. But time blocking is only half the system. The other half is weekly reflection and adjustment. Every Sunday, Musk looks back at what worked, what didn't, and what needs to change. Think of it like a pilot checking their flight path. If you never correct your course, even a tiny deviation can send you hundreds of miles off target. Your life works the same way. Maybe you planned 3 deep work sessions but only managed 1. Why? Did you let distractions in? Did you overcommit? Did you put low-value tasks ahead of high-value ones? Reflection gives you the data to fix the system before it breaks entirely. And here's something most people don't realize. Musk isn't just ruthless about what he says yes to, he's ruthless about what he says no to. If something doesn't align with his mission, it doesn't make it onto the calendar, no matter how urgent it seems to other people. That's how he avoids being pulled into endless busy work. You need to develop the same muscle. Saying no isn't about being rude, it's about protecting your time for the things that actually change your life. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something critical. Let's make this practical. Here's how you can start applying Musk's priority system today. 1. Define your top 3 priorities for the week. These should be big, meaningful tasks that move your life or career forward, not small errands or busy work. 2. Block time for them first. Before you fill your calendar with meetings or chores, protect time for these priorities, ideally early in the day, when your energy is highest. 3. Batch your low-value tasks. Instead of scattering email, calls, and admin work throughout your day, group them into one block so they don't fragment your focus. 4. Review and adjust weekly. On Sunday night, look at what you accomplished and where your time actually went. Then refine. The magic of this system is that it puts you in control of your time instead of letting time control you. You stop waking up and wondering, what should I do today? And start waking up knowing, here's exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. Over time, this creates momentum. You're no longer chasing everything at once, you're advancing strategically, like a chess player setting up the winning move. And here's the truth. If you combine this system with relentless consistency, you will outpace almost everyone around you. Most people are busy, but not productive. They confuse motion with progress. Musk avoids this trap by making sure every block of time connects to his ultimate vision. If you want to change your life, don't just work harder, work on the right things, at the right time, every single day. That's how you turn 24 hours into a weapon. Let me ask you something. How many times have you promised yourself, this time, I'm going to stick to it, only to quit after a few days or weeks? Maybe you started a new routine, a diet, a workout plan, or a business project, and then life got in the way. You missed one day, then another, and before long, you were right back where you started. Here's the truth. Elon Musk understands better than most. Willpower is unreliable. It's like a battery. It drains fast, and when it's empty, you're done. That's why Musk doesn't rely on feeling disciplined to get things done. Instead, he designs his environment so that success becomes the default choice, not the hard one. Think about it: if your surroundings constantly tempt you with distractions, you will eventually give in, no matter how strong you think your self-control is. Musk knows this, so he builds environments that make it easier to work than to waste time. His offices, his factories, even his meeting rooms are designed with purpose. Everything unnecessary is stripped away. The design itself forces focus. It's not about being a productivity machine, it's about creating a space where distractions simply don't stand a chance. You can do the same in your own life, no matter where you work or what you do. The first step is an environment audit. Look around the place where you spend the most time working or thinking. Is your phone constantly buzzing with notifications? Are there tabs open on your browser that tempt you to just check for a minute, and that minute turns into 30? Is there physical clutter piles of papers, random objects pulling your attention away? Every bit of noise, visual or digital, steals mental energy. Musk applies something like friction engineering to his own life. He reduces friction for good habits and increases friction for bad ones. For example, if you want to read more, keep a book on your desk or next to your bed. If you want to work out, put your workout clothes where you can see them the moment you wake up. On the other hand, if you want to cut down on social media, remove the apps from your phone or at least bury them in folders so opening them isn't effortless. The harder you make a bad habit to start, the less likely you'll do it without thinking. Another part of environmental design is creating work triggers. Musk doesn't waste time easing into work. He has cues that signal to his brain, it's time to focus now. This could be as simple as sitting at a specific desk, wearing noise-canceling headphones, or starting the day with a certain task. Once your brain associates that cue with deep work, focus becomes automatic. Here's the mistake most people make: they try to fight distraction with self-control alone. But in the heat of the moment, when you're tired or stressed, self-control loses. The only way to win consistently is to make the right choice, the easiest choice. Musk's environment works for him, not against him. He doesn't need to summon willpower to do the right thing. The path of least resistance is already leading him there. Let's make this concrete. Here's a 3-step process to redesign your environment like Musk. 1. Remove temptation. Identify the biggest distractions in your life and put them out of reach physically or digitally. 2. Add visual cues for good habits. Place reminders of your goals in plain sight, a vision board, a checklist, or even a post-it with your most important task of the day. 3. Automate your triggers. Use the same location, setup, or ritual to start your most important work each day until it becomes second nature. This isn't just about productivity, it's about energy management. Every time you resist a distraction, you spend mental energy. But if you design your space so there's nothing to resist, you save that energy for the work that matters. Over weeks and months, this compounds into a huge advantage. Most people waste their best mental hours fighting themselves. Musk skips that battle entirely, and here's the best part. Once your environment is set up correctly, it keeps working even when you're tired, stressed, or not in the mood. You won't always be operating at your best, but your environment will still guide you toward the right actions. That's the beauty of systems. They don't depend on motivation, they don't care how you feel, and they never take a day off. The question isn't whether you have enough discipline. The question is, have you built a space where the right thing to do is also the easiest thing to do? If you do that, you won't need to force yourself to stay on track. Your environment will do it for you. Just like Elon Musk, you'll find that the less you depend on willpower, the more consistent your results will be. Here's a secret most people don't want to hear. You do not need the perfect plan to start changing your life. In fact, chasing perfection is one of the biggest reasons people never move forward at all. They think, I'll start when I've figured out the perfect routine, the perfect schedule, the perfect system. But perfection is a trap. Elon Musk doesn't wait until everything is flawless before he takes action. He moves fast, tests, fails, and improves. He launches rockets knowing they might crash. He builds prototypes knowing they'll need fixing. And he applies that exact same approach to personal systems. The truth is, the first version of your system will not be perfect. It might even be ugly, but that's fine, because a system isn't meant to be flawless from the start, it's meant to evolve. Musk calls this iteration. You start with something simple that works well enough, and then you keep improving it based on feedback and results. This is the opposite of the perfectionist mindset, which delays action in the name of getting it right. If you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting forever. Think about how SpaceX operates. The first launches weren't perfect, far from it. Some failed spectacularly, but each failure was an opportunity to learn something new, something that made the next version better. That's exactly how you need to approach building your own life systems. Instead of aiming for perfection on day one, aim for a minimum viable system, the smallest, simplest structure that will get you moving in the right direction. Once it's working, you refine it. Over time, the small improvements compound into something powerful. The danger with overcomplicating things from the start is that it becomes too heavy to maintain. If you try to build a 20-step morning routine, a 4-hour daily deep work plan, and a strict diet all at once, you'll last maybe a week before burning out. That's why Musk focuses on the core function first. He strips away everything unnecessary until only the essential structure remains. Once that's solid, he layers on improvements. Here's how you can apply this to your own life. 1. Identify the single highest impact habit or process you can add right now. This might be a 1-hour daily focus block, a nightly review, or a Sunday planning session. Don't try to overhaul your entire life at once. Just start with one thing. 2. Test it for a set period of time, say 2 weeks. Track how consistent you are and how much impact it's having. 3. Adjust based on real results. Did it work? Can you make it easier? Can you make it more effective? 4. Add the next improvement only after the first one feels automatic. This approach not only keeps you moving forward, but it also builds resilience. When you know that every system is a work in progress, you stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as data. You become less emotional about setbacks because you understand they're part of the process. Musk doesn't tie his self-worth to whether a plan works perfectly on the first try. He's focused on the long game, the series of iterations that lead to breakthrough success. That's why he can take huge risks without being paralyzed by fear. You can develop the same mindset by reminding yourself, I'm not trying to be perfect today. I'm trying to be better than yesterday. And here's the beauty of iteration over time. The improvements become exponential. The first few versions of your system might only be slightly better than what you had before. But as you stack those small upgrades, you reach a tipping point where progress accelerates. What used to feel like a massive challenge becomes effortless. The system runs almost automatically, and you're free to focus on higher-level problems. Most people never get there because they quit when the first version feels clunky or hard. They think, if it's this difficult now, it will always be this difficult. But difficulty is a sign you're in the early stage, not a permanent condition. Stick with it, refine it, and the difficulty fades while the results grow. So here's the challenge for you. Stop trying to design the perfect life before you start living it. Pick one small, powerful system you can put in place today. Accept that it will be rough at first. Commit to improving it every week. Over time, you'll be shocked at how far those small, imperfect steps can take you. That's how Elon Musk builds rockets. That's how he runs multiple billion-dollar companies. And that's how you can build a life that evolves toward greatness one iteration at a time. Most people think systems are only about productivity and time management, but Elon Musk uses systems for something even more powerful: learning. He treats knowledge as a living, evolving network, not just a random pile of facts. While most people learn in a linear, shallow way, Musk learns in a way that compounds, making every new skill or piece of information multiply the value of what he already knows. And the system he uses to make that happen is called first principles thinking. First principles thinking means breaking down problems or concepts into their most basic truths and then building solutions from the ground up. Most people start with what's already been done and make small adjustments. Musk starts with the question, what do we know for sure is true? And then rebuilds from there. This approach is why he can move into industries where he has no formal background: electric cars, rocketry, brain-computer interfaces, and still innovate at the highest level. But here's the part most people miss. Musk applies first principles not just to business or engineering, but to his own personal growth. Instead of copying someone else's routine or advice blindly, he asks, what is the actual goal here, and what's the most direct way to get there? If the goal is productivity, maybe waking up at 5 a.m. is helpful, but maybe it's not. If the goal is health, maybe running is great, but maybe weight training works better for you. The point is, you stop accepting rules just because they worked for someone else. You analyze, you question, and you build your own path from the ground up. This is a huge shift in mindset. because it moves you from imitation to creation. Instead of trying to fit yourself into someone else's system, you design systems that fit you. That's how you create something sustainable, because it's based on your strengths, your rhythms, and your priorities. To make this practical, here's how you can set up a learning system inspired by Musk. 1. Choose one skill or area of knowledge that will have the biggest impact on your life right now. Don't scatter your energy across 10 different things. Focus deeply. 2. Break it down into first principles. Ask, what do I actually need to understand at the most basic level? For example, if you want to learn investing, the first principles might be understanding value, risk, and market psychology, not memorizing stock tips. 3. Learn the fundamentals until they become second nature. Don't rush to advanced techniques until you've mastered the core building blocks. 4. Connect new information to what you already know. Musk doesn't keep knowledge in isolated boxes. He links concepts from different fields to generate unique insights. This is why reading about biology can help him design better rockets. Connections spark innovation. 5. Teach it back. If you can explain a concept in simple terms to someone else, you truly understand it. The power of this system is that it doesn't just give you knowledge, it gives you adaptability. In a world that's changing faster than ever, adaptability is a superpower. Jobs, industries, and technologies come and go, but if you can learn quickly and deeply, you'll always be ahead of the curve. Musk himself has said, "You don't need to go to college to learn. Everything is available for free." And that's true, but without a system, the sheer amount of information out there becomes overwhelming. You start random YouTube videos, half-read books, jump between podcasts, and end up with bits and pieces of knowledge that never form into something usable. A structured learning system fixes that. Another key part of Musk's learning system is feedback loops. He doesn't just absorb information passively, he tests it in the real world. If he learns a new concept about rocket propulsion, it's immediately applied in a prototype. He studies a new design principle for Tesla, it's integrated into the next product iteration. You can do the same on a smaller scale. Whatever you're learning, find a way to apply it immediately. Knowledge without action fades fast. And here's the mindset shift that ties it all together. Musk doesn't see learning as something separate from life. It is life. Every problem, every challenge, every project is a chance to learn something new. That's why he's able to keep innovating at a pace that seems impossible. He's not just building companies, he's building himself. If you adopt that same mindset and build a system that turns learning into a daily habit, you'll never be stuck. You'll never be limited by what you currently know. You'll always be expanding, connecting, and upgrading, just like Elon Musk. Imagine standing at the edge of your own future, able to see exactly where your choices will take you. In one direction, a life of success, clarity, and purpose. In the other, a life full of missed chances and what-ifs. The difference between these two futures often comes down to one simple thing: the systems you put in place today. Elon Musk doesn't rely on hope or luck. He builds mechanisms that almost guarantee progress. This is your chance to do the same. Musk believes the final piece of the puzzle isn't just building systems, it's making them self-sustaining. A lot of people set up habits or routines, but they collapse when life gets busy, motivation fades, or challenges hit. A sustainable system works even when you don't feel like working. It's the safety net that keeps you moving forward when willpower runs out. The secret? Design systems that don't rely on motivation, but instead rely on structure. For Musk, that means deadlines that can't be moved, public commitments that create pressure, and built-in feedback loops that expose weaknesses before they grow into problems. Think of it like setting up a machine once it's running. It needs minimal energy to keep going. One of Musk's strategies is reducing friction. He removes anything that slows down action. For example, instead of wasting time deciding when to work, he pre-commits to fixed time blocks. Instead of searching for tools or resources, they're always ready and within reach. This eliminates excuses. If you want to write a book, keep your writing setup ready at all times. If you want to work out, have your clothes and gear prepared the night before. Systems break down when they require constant setup. Another key is automation. Musk automates not just in technology, but in decision-making. If a choice is routine, he standardizes it. You can do the same meal prepping to avoid unhealthy eating, using templates for repeated tasks, setting recurring reminders for follow-ups. The less brain power you spend on low-value decisions, the more you have for innovation and problem-solving. Musk also applies data-driven adjustments. He doesn't just run a system blindly, he measures results. If something isn't working, he changes it quickly. You must treat your system like an experiment. Set a goal, track your progress, and make necessary changes. A workout plan, a learning schedule, or a business process all should be measured, tested, and improved. Most importantly, Musk embraces compound gains. A good system produces results that grow over time. The first week might feel slow, the first month steady, but then momentum builds. Imagine investing just 1% improvement each day. After a year, you've transformed yourself completely. Systems make these improvements inevitable because they remove randomness and replace it with consistency. Now, here's the final truth. No system works unless you protect it fiercely. There will be days when you're tempted to skip it, just this once. But every skipped day weakens the structure. Elon Musk treats his systems as non-negotiable, as critical as breathing. You need that same mindset. Whether it's your morning routine, your deep work block, or your review process, it must happen no matter what. By now, you've built the foundation, defined your priorities, created execution plans, layered in review systems, and learned how to make them self-sustaining. This is your personal life architecture, your launch pad. If you commit to it, these systems will quietly, almost invisibly, shape you into the person you dream of becoming. One day, you'll look back and realize the life you once imagined is now your reality, not because you wished for it, but because you engineered it. Thanks for watching my video. If you found it helpful or inspiring, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your one comment can motivate us to create even better content. Stay curious, keep learning, and never stop growing. See you in the next video.